the beauty of his creation and how he designed our bodies.
Hmm.
It's just mind blowing. If you really look into how he created our bodies to break down foods, what foods he created for our bodies
Yeah.
that help us thrive, it's also perfectly organized.
Hmm.
Like, are we shocked by that? No.
Welcome to The Home and the Maker, sharing advice and encouragement about all topics homemaking and homesteading, and honoring the maker in all of it. Join Megan from Shine.fm for today's conversation.
So you want to feed the family healthy food, but that can often feel difficult or overwhelming when you think about the prep work, how to make healthy food taste good, and finding quality ingredients. But joining me today to talk about her pursuit of feeding her family healthy and well is Claire, who's a follower of Jesus, a wife, a mom, and a cookbook author who is also behind the Instagram account and blog, Secretly Healthy Home. Thanks for joining me, Claire.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is so fun. So,
I'm so excited.
let's back up to the beginning, how this all started. Where did the desire to feed your family well, and healthy begin for you?
Yeah, I love this question. So, growing up, I really didn't know anything about health, nutrition. I'm the youngest of, I have four older brothers. I always say this wrong. I have four older brothers, and I'm the youngest.
Okay.
So, I'm the only girl. So, growing up, I kind of just ate whatever they were eating. I didn't have any idea of like what was in my food I was eating. And that didn't really start until college. So, in college, I
Okay.
was like, okay, I'm really wanting to get healthy and I
Hmm.
want to learn more about nutrition. So that's when I really got on my health journey. It was in college and I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. But like when I had my first child is when I was like, okay, I really need to step up my game a little bit. And I was so excited to feed him whole foods
Hmm.
because it was just so exciting. So at 4 months, I'm pretty sure I was like, yes, he's ready. Let's feed him. It's like 4 to 6 months. It was
Yeah.
4 months. I was feeding him yogurt and banana and avocado. Um, and just I've learned a lot also from my mother-in-law who cooks and bakes a lot more whole foods, and she's done that her whole life. So growing up, my husband, he grew up with a lot of more whole food and simple recipes. So I've
Mhm.
learned a lot from her as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And then just the fact of for my kids, just knowing that if they're fed healthy, nutritious food, they will feel better.
Hmm.
They will, I mean, I'm not saying they're going to behave perfectly, but it will definitely help with their mental state. Like if you just think of yourself, if you're not
Hmm.
feeding yourself good, healthy, nutritious food, you're not going to be feeling too good.
Right.
So I think I always have that in mind with my kids too. Like, okay, if they're acting up, like, okay, maybe they need a snack and maybe it needs to be something more filling. Maybe they didn't have enough at breakfast. So just understanding nutrition and balancing the fats, the carbs and the protein for my kids, it's always in the back of my
Yeah.
brain when I'm feeding them, which I think is really important just for behavior and how they're feeling too.
Yeah. It's so interesting when you get into like the science of how all those things play together. My husband has like done all that research as far as like balancing this and that. And I'm like, in my mind, it's like, okay, a vegetable is healthy, but I don't know all the, the ins and outs of that. So it's interesting
Yeah.
that you bring that up.
Yeah, totally. When you break it down, how
Hmm.
our bodies use and absorb and what it looks like. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
So tell me about starting the blog, and just your account, Secretly Healthy Home. I also love that the initials spell like a secret, shh, like you
Yeah.
are keeping a secret.
Right,
That's
right.
so fun. But tell me about how that started.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that with the because when I made the name, I was brainstorming so many different things, and I made the blog when my firstborn was probably 3 or 4 months old.
Okay.
Because I had been a teacher and I wanted to do something from home.
Hmm.
I felt like I needed something, which I feel like a lot of moms feel that way too when they have their first child or multiple children. They're like, I think I just want something to do extra a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's when I searched on Google, like, what are things I can do from home?
Yeah.
And of course, so many were like, start a blog. And I was like, really? Like a blog? But then I was thinking about it and I was like, yeah, I guess I do make recipes. I've always loved baking. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll try it. We'll try and make healthy recipes. So that's how That's how the blog started. And then when I was brainstorming the name, I came up with Secretly Home. And then when I was making the logo, I was like, wait a minute. It's, I didn't
Yeah.
even realize that. So it was like kind of like God's wink.
Yeah.
Like, that
So
was so
perfect.
cool because I did not plan that at all until I was making the logo. And I was like, this is actually so perfect. Yeah.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, you also have a cookbook, which is Healthy Copycat Treats. What are some of those things that you've created copycats for that you like wouldn't pick up from the store today?
Oh my goodness. Everything. Everything. Seriously. That whole section where you walk in and the whole aisle is just the Little Debbie's and, Chips Ahoy, Oreos, Pop Tarts,
Hmm.
all of those. If you look at any of those ingredients, it is a mile long.
Yeah.
It is, I mean, it has so many things in it that we don't even know what they are. They're
Right.
chemicals. They're so detrimental to our bodies. There's so many dyes. So I would literally never pick up anything. I've walked past, that aisle many times with my kids too.
Hmm.
And I've taught my kids about dyes and I've taught them about artificial ingredients and all of that. So it's funny because when we walk through those aisles, the kids look and they're like, "Ooh, that's not good for you." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's not good for you." But I also try and teach them like it's okay to have balance. It's okay to have every once in a while. Like
Yeah.
we don't want to be scared of foods. We want balance, but it is so important to teach them what is in our food. So,
Hmm.
no, we would never pick anything up from the grocery aisle like that. But that's why I made my cookbook
Yeah.
because I mean, a lot of that also has ingredients that people can't eat. A lot of people are gluten-free now, dairy-free, vegan,
Yeah.
or nut-free, any of that. So I made my cookbook because I grew up on those kind of foods. Like I would get them in my lunchbox a lot. I would love them.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, I gotta find a way to do some copycats because it's also so fun for me to make recipes that taste exactly like what the original is
Yeah.
with using healthier ingredients.
Yeah.
Because like you taste and you're like, that is so good. It actually tastes better because it has no fillers or artificial anything or like
Yeah.
preservatives. It tastes so much better and it's so much better for you. So I just think it's so fun when I like nail a recipe. I'm like, that tastes exactly like an Oreo or that tastes
Yes.
exactly like a Chips Ahoy cookie. Yeah.
That's
So
perfect.
yeah, there's so many good ones in there. Like zebra cakes or cosmic brownies, Pop Tarts.
Hmm.
So good. And they're so easy too. I make my recipes very simple because
Yes.
again, I have children. So like one bowl, if I have to get out two bowls, I don't know if I can do it. So all
I
my
love
recipes you'll
it.
find are very easy. Yeah.
Simple dishes too. I love it.
Yes, for sure.
So, when you made that transition, going back to those college days, when you
Hmm.
started exploring this and started eating cleaner, more healthy, did you notice yourself feeling healthier, or was it? Because for me personally, when I started making that change, someone asked me that, and I'm like, I don't really know if I do feel healthier. I know it's a psychological thing for me where I feel like I'm doing a great thing and
Hmm.
feeding myself better. But for you, how was that experience? Did you know, feel in your body that you were doing better?
Yeah, that's really interesting you say that because um I'm kind of similar with you. When
Hmm.
I was in college, I kind of went the extreme
Okay.
and I had free reign of the cafeteria. And since I was so aware of that and aware of like the foods that I could put in my body, I had more choices. I had a choice. I could eat a chicken salad or I could eat whatever else they had.
Hmm.
But I think chicken salads were like always available in our
Yeah.
cafeteria. And so I definitely went the extreme. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have like a chicken salad every day. I would like try to avoid some foods.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting because God didn't really take me down like you find perfect balance once you learn about nutrition. I was struggling more with
Hmm.
under eating.
Okay.
And so I would eat healthy in college and I'd feel pretty good. But then like I'd go to bed hungry
Hmm.
and I'm like, I'm not gonna eat until breakfast because, I don't wanna gain weight. So I went through that and I think it was really good for me because like it really helped me understand like that's not a healthy way to view food either. Like thinking about all the
Hmm.
time
Yeah.
and constantly being like, okay, what did I eat today? And oh yeah, I did have like two cookies and like I would do that in my brain. I know I'm not the only one, especially in that time period of life when girls are struggling with body image a lot.
Hmm.
So no, I would say I definitely didn't have a healthy view right away when
Mm,
I was eating healthy.
yeah.
Physically I looked better than I did before because I
Yeah.
was eating healthier foods, but I think I didn't find that perfect balance until probably until after I got married and probably after I had my first child.
Yeah.
Because like then you kind of just go with the flow with postpartum. You feed your, you feed yourself nourishing foods, and then you kind of find your baseline again with
Yeah.
where you're at. So
Gotcha.
it is very interesting that you're like, you didn't really feel that crazy different. But honestly, but now that I have like a balanced nutrition and balanced view on food,
Hmm.
it's like, it's so freeing. I don't think about food all the time.
Yeah.
And, my digestion is great. I don't really have any issues, no health issues or anything like that, which is really good. I'm actually not gluten free or dairy free. I just have
Okay.
a lot of recipes that are.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me that, but it's mostly because I use the healthier ingredients, which makes them gluten free, dairy free, and
Yeah.
sometimes vegan too.
Gotcha.
And yeah,
I love it. So, um, speaking of, some of those like swaps that you make to make it healthier, like what are some of those common things that if like say I'm pulling up a recipe tonight, like what would be some of those common swaps that could easily be made?
yeah. So I would say using a common recipe and trying to swap in healthier things is probably not the best
Mm,
idea
okay.
just because the ratios are a lot different.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I'm recipe testing, it's not like I look at a cookie recipe and just swap in gluten-free flour or swap
Okay.
in almond flour because the flours are so different. So a
Okay.
lot of people ask me like, "Can I sub coconut sugar or sorry, coconut flour for almond flour?" And I'm like, "Do not do that. Please do not do that. Like it would not do not do that. It would be
Okay.
bad." Um because if you think about it, almond flour is ground up almonds,
Hmm.
which is going to act a lot different than your typical like whole grain flour or just,
Yeah.
all purpose flour. So my recommendation is just to find a recipe and follow it.
Okay.
I mean, that's why I make recipes, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, I guess that's why I have a job. But yeah, so if you're going to make some swaps, but I will say there are some recipes that you can do that with. So, for instance, like if there's a recipe you see and you just want to swap in a sweetener,
Hmm.
doing coconut sugar instead of granulated white sugar is a
Okay.
really simple one. That's really simple. Or
Okay.
even it can sub for brown sugar too.
Gotcha.
So coconut sugar is something that I always have on hand. That's what I use in a lot of my recipes.
Okay.
So that's a really good swap that you can do. But as far as the flour goes, I think
Yeah.
that's the harder swap. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but as far as healthier ingredients go, keeping the recipes more balanced in fats, carbs, and protein is really important. So, like when I'm developing a recipe, the main things I swap or make healthier are the sweeteners,
Okay.
the flours, the fats.
Got
So,
it.
for a sweetener, it'd be coconut sugar or pure maple syrup or honey.
Okay.
And then sometimes I do granulated monk fruit sweetener.
Hmm.
And then for the healthier fats, I would do, instead of like Crisco,
Yeah.
you would do grass fed butter or avocado oil.
Hmm.
And I sometimes use coconut oil. And then even with a fat too, I also sub in like more yogurt
Okay.
or applesauce or even mashed banana or mashed sweet potato.
Yeah.
Like those are really good binders that won't crank up your fat content.
Okay.
So those are some cool things. And then
Yeah.
the flours, yeah, the flours I normally do like oat flour, which you can make from home.
Mhm.
If you have like a little hand coffee grinder, you can grind up some
Oh,
oats and make
okay.
oat flour or your blender.
Okay.
I will say some people's blenders aren't the best, so they could have a little more, oats in there.
Yeah.
Like we have a Vitamix blender, so it blends it like flour. It's so great.
Okay.
But you could also buy oat flour too. So yeah, oat flour and almond flour are really good ones. And then I've also been experimenting with einkorn flour more. I don't know
Okay.
if you've heard of that.
Yes.
Yeah, like an ancient grain.
Yeah.
So those are really good swaps to do too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's funny you
Yeah.
mentioned coconut sugar because I saw someone on Instagram making like a nice little coffee drink at home or something, and they use coconut sugar because it's not
Oh,
refined. And I was like, coconut, there's a thing as coconut sugar?
yes.
That's
It's
awesome.
really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it taste
It's not,
coconutty?
no, not at all. It
Okay.
tastes like brown sugar.
Oh, okay. Nice.
It's like a caramely
Okay.
taste. It's
Sweet.
really good. Yeah.
So, just looking at your Instagram, if someone were to browse through your posts, they'd see that you add a lot of protein to things. So, why do you add protein to things instead of just like protein powder instead of just leaving it plain?
Yeah. So I love adding protein to things because I feel like personally, it's very hard for me to get in a
Okay.
lot of protein in a day.
Yeah.
Um, I used to track macros years ago. I don't
Okay.
anymore because that's a lot, but it really did help me understand what my body needed.
Hmm.
And I did notice a big difference when I was eating more protein versus not.
Okay.
So I think protein is such a like a gap in our diet that we tend to undereat in, which
Okay.
it's so easy to because I feel like protein is kind of a harder one to get.
Yeah.
Like I can eat a lot of rice and pasta and bread. Like that's easy.
Oh, yeah.
But like, eating chicken, I don't know. It's not as
Right.
fun.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, protein's so important and it just helps stabilize your blood sugar, your cravings and all of that. I've heard before that if you have a lot of sugar cravings, especially like in the afternoon or the evening,
Hmm.
it could be your body telling you like you need more protein.
Interesting.
Yeah, so adding more protein is it's super great for recipes, especially when it's so easy to add. Like sometimes I'll just add some collagen
Hmm.
unflavored. So you can't even taste it
Yeah.
and it adds protein to whatever you have. And then obviously my creamy recipes, if you have a Ninja Creamy machine,
Mm.
it is like 30 grams of protein for ice cream. It
Yeah.
tastes so good. I'm like, this is perfect for when you have a crazy day or like you have pizza for breakfast or not pizza for breakfast.
It's like, there you
I
go.
we don't do that, but maybe we should. No. If you have pizza for dessert or oh my gosh, pizza. If you have pizza for dinner.
There you
Oh my gosh. What a pregnancy brain right now. If you have pizza for dinner or, like a lighter dinner that's not super high in protein, I love having, sometimes you get hungry after dinner. I get
Mhm.
hungry after dinner.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you?
Yeah.
Like that's mostly why I have dessert and
Yes.
recipes for dessert because I'm like, I'm actually hungry after dinner. I'm not just like looking for sweet treat. Sometimes I am, but sometimes I'm just like, I'm actually hungry,
Yeah.
especially if you're eating healthier food for
Mhm.
dinner. Sometimes it doesn't stick with you as long as as long. So that's why, sometimes if your diet's like that for the day, it's fine. And we love doing pizza for dinner sometimes, but it's good if you're hungry, you're like, okay, instead of just having a bowl of ice cream, you
Yeah.
can have 30 grams protein and it's like a protein shake for dessert, which I
Yeah.
think is so fun.
Yes. And
Yeah.
it looks pretty too, the pictures that you've shown.
Yeah, it's really yummy.
Speaking of the pictures on your Instagram, I mean, you make a lot of yummy looking things, but how often are you like making all these yummy things in the kitchen?
I love this question because I think a lot of people think I'm in the kitchen all the time and they're like, how do you do it with three children and you're
Yeah.
pregnant? I'm like, stop. Don't don't be fooled
Yeah.
because yes, I am in the kitchen a lot, but I'm not baking as much as I used to at all.
Hmm.
So a lot of the recipes, this is a little behind the scenes, a lot of the recipes I do share are ones I've already made before.
Yeah.
So like I repurpose content a lot,
Hmm.
which that's the season of life I'm in right now. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I would love to make more recipes. And that's kind of one of my goals for this year or the rest of this year is to create more recipes because I really, that's my passion. I love it.
Yeah.
But the reality is being in the kitchen extra right now is just exhausting because
Yeah.
I'm already in the kitchen, breakfast, lunch, and dinner and
Hmm.
snacks. So I'm always in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then if I'm like, okay, I put the kids to nap, I'm like, okay, I just cleaned up the kitchen from lunch and now I
Yeah.
don't
You don't
want
want
a
to go
recipe
back in
test
there.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now at this season, I really am just giving myself grace.
Hmm.
I'm trying to, find time to make recipes, but I'm also okay with just
Yeah.
taking more breaks and it's okay not to be in the kitchen all the time.
Hmm.
And yeah, so it's not as much as people would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you are in the kitchen though, as far as, planning breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, how do you make that prep work easier for yourself so that it takes less time?
Yeah, I love that question. The freezer is my best friend. I really
Yes.
think. I really think it is. So for snacks and things like that for the kids, I really like to have things that they can grab themselves and that, have balanced macros on them, like healthy carb, protein, and fat.
Hmm.
We don't do snacks all day long. It's a morning snack sometimes,
Yeah.
and usually after nap they have a little something. So I like to have something small so that they eat their meals.
Yeah.
But yeah, doing protein balls is a really big one. So I'll
Okay.
prep like a huge batch of protein balls.
Hmm.
Huge. They will last forever. So then
Nice.
the kids can go grab it out of the freezer and they can go eat it outside when it's not winter, obviously. That way it keeps like the kitchen not a mess all the time too.
Hmm.
So that's just a little hack I do is just prep a bunch of protein balls or so I have recipes on my blog for protein balls. I also have these peanut butter cookie dough bars that are on my blog as well.
Okay.
And I put unflavored collagen in those to add a little bit more sustenance. And it's
Yeah.
like peanut butter and flax and oat flour, almond flour. So it's really balanced. And it's like a dessert.
Yeah.
So they can have that for snack too. And then I do a lot of, I do baked oatmeal a lot, probably at
Okay.
least once a week for the kids.
Okay.
And it's crazy because we have three kids now,
Hmm.
6, 4, and 2. And I will make a batch of baked oatmeal and I'm like, do I need to double this now? Because like we go through it in 2 days. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness. So we'll probably get to that point because yeah, we're gonna have a fourth here pretty soon. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to be doubling my baked oatmeal. But the baked oatmeal is so easy because I throw everything into the baking dish that it
Okay.
bakes in, and then you put it in the oven, and then I usually just bake it the day before.
Okay.
So that way, like in the morning, I'll just take it out and then I'll just heat up whatever the kids
Yeah.
want.
Nice.
And then they love it. And it's so
Yeah.
easy.
And
It's
it's
so
one
easy because they
dish.
don't have to. It's one dish. Exactly. Exactly. And it takes like 5 minutes to prep it. You just throw it
Okay.
all in and then,
Yeah.
yeah, it's so easy.
Easy peasy. So, basically, I think I saw somewhere that you said like dishes, cleaning up, not your favorite. Mine neither. If I could pick one chore to get rid of, it would be dishes.
Yes.
But how do you find encouragement on the days where it's just really, really difficult to like do those things?
Yeah, that's a really good question because there are some days where, I mean, it's just the morning and the kids are, they're fighting and I have to pause. And I'm like, can I
Yeah.
just clean the kitchen, please, you guys?
Yeah.
I really like the Lord is sanctifying me over and over, I tell you. Um, but I think taking breaks is really important. I feel like I'm still learning that in my motherhood journey is that the dishes can wait sometimes
Hmm.
if I need to pause and go sit down and shepherd my kids and like teach them an important lesson, like how to get along with your siblings in that moment.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to do because I'm like, I would just rather get this done so that I can just sit down and.
Yeah.
But no, I need to just realize that it's okay to take breaks, and my children's hearts are so much more important than getting the dishes done. So
Yeah.
taking breaks is really important, and just like allowing yourself to pause and be like, I can get to the dishes after lunch. Like it's okay. It's
Hmm.
okay. And I think I'll learn that even more too when we do have a fourth kid because it's like that now. And I'm like, it's probably gonna get crazier, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I've really been trying to have the kids help me clean up the kitchen. My older two, one wipes down the counter, one vacuum mops or vacuums.
Yeah.
That's been super helpful because it not only gives them a job to do after eating,
Hmm.
it like keeps them busy.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like they play better after they do that as well. It's
Okay.
very interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do that more with them, and I think it really does help. And then also helps me because yes, they don't do it perfectly,
Right.
but it honestly, I look at the table and it's wiped and I'm like, this is fantastic. Even if it's not perfect,
Yeah.
it's good enough. And
Yes.
I'm so grateful for little helpers now. It's great.
Oh,
And
I
then
love it.
sometimes, yeah, and then sometimes too, my husband, I mean, it just depends on the day. Sometimes we can tag team the kitchen after dinner, but sometimes he's like, what would be helpful to you can I take the kids and play with them? Do you want me to do the dishes? Like he'll ask me what is helpful in the moment. I'm like,
Yeah.
you can take the kids
Okay.
and I'll clean the kitchen.
Yeah.
So sometimes he'll just like take the kids outside. He'll take the kids in the basement or upstairs and they'll play. And it's kind of my time to, I can either just do it in silence
Yeah.
or I usually like to put on an audiobook or a podcast.
Okay.
So it honestly, it's like, it's beautiful. It
Yeah.
really is. It's like my little time. And then I really do enjoy cleaning up the kitchen when I'm able to do that too.
Right. That's awesome. Okay, my final question. So God, the maker of us, the maker of our homes, the maker of our food, what has he revealed to you of himself as you've pursued eating more healthy foods?
Yeah, this is a great question. So I would say just the beauty of his creation and how he designed our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
It's just mind blowing. If you really look into how he created our bodies to break down foods, what foods he created for our bodies
Yeah.
that help us thrive, it's also perfectly organized.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are we shocked by that? No. But it is really cool, just looking at his creation and just looking at our bodies,
Yeah.
how he created it so perfectly to fit together so everything works perfectly in harmony.
Yeah.
If we're, eating healthier foods and just seeing how that helps us throughout our day, mentally,
Yeah.
physically. And it's like these are the foods that he first created.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's just the coolest thing is just his perfect, beautiful creation.
Yeah. That's amazing. It is so intricate, especially when we talk about how
Totally.
the macros and all those things play together. Like that's so intricate. But yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Well, thanks so much, Claire. If you want to follow Claire along on her blog or on her Instagram, her account is Secretly Healthy Home on Instagram. That's also the name of her blog. You can look that up as well too, and just look at what Claire's posting and check out some of the recipes that she's sharing. So thanks so much, Claire.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is so fun.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Home and the Maker podcast. And for other podcasts from Shine.fm, visit the Shine.fm podcast channel.